everyone. Do you hear my sound clear?
Yeah. Yes, teacher.
Okay. Okay, now I would like to say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am very pleased that I have a great honor to be here. Since yesterday, I have learned a lot of knowledge and experiences from the panel discussion, from the various topics. I am Hong Sumol. I come here to present my research topic. Is the situation of implementation inquiry-based learning method through teaching English for upper secondary school students in Kampot Province. Actually, my topic focuses on key variable teaching method by using IBL. The research study conduct data collection in upper secondary school in Kampot Province. Outline of presentation covers 5 points. The first one, research objective. Second one, research question. Third, research method. 4, result and discussion, and the last one, number 5, conclusion. To answer the research topics, the research objective is to find out the situation of implementation inquiry-based learning, we call IBL, measured through teaching English at upper secondary school in Kampot Province. By the research question is, what are the situation of implementation inquiries-based learning measured through teaching English at upper secondary school in Kampot Province? Number 2, research measure. To answer the research question, here is the research design. In the research methodology, we are use a quantitative measure. In the quantitative measure, the researcher used the questionnaire to data collection. The final stage is the interpret result. Exactly, interpret result based on 5 rating scale of research instrument on frequency and mean. There are also some comment on the questionnaire to end up the opinion from the respondent. Research instrument. Research instrument by using the questionnaire that a respondent consists of 14 school principals, 18 English teachers, and 90 students who are studying English subjects. The total respondents are 122.
Excuse me, teacher. Can you show your slide, please, so the audience can see it clearly? Please click on show slide button. Thank you.
Slideshow.
Slideshow, yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, let me go on. How about the data collection? We use a quantity measure, and the questionnaire for the data collection consists of 3 parts. Part 1, the general information. Part 2, the study situation of IDL that included 4 elements: curriculum turned into action, the process of teaching methodology, interaction between teacher and student, teaching material in use, and the last one, comment. How about the data analysis method is frequency, mean, and standard deviation by using Microsoft Excel and descriptive statistics. Here's Kampot location map that show about the district that researcher conducted the research in 5 high schools of 4 districts in 7 districts and 1 town. They are Bentemih district, Kampong Chrai district, Kampong Bai district before, but now the government moved to Techu district, and the last one, Kampot town in Kampot province. Number 4, result and discussion. Now I would like to all of you look at table 1, show about demographic information of 14 school principal. There are 79% is a male of school principal and only 21% is female. Table 2 show about demographic information of 18 English teacher. Most of the English teacher, they are 89% is a male and only 11% is female. And about education qualification, we noted that most of the English teacher who finish a bachelor degree, they are 72%, and only 6% of the English teacher finish association and high school. Table 3 show about demographic information of students who study in high school. There are 73% of the students who come from grade 10 and grade 12, and mostly there are 73% is we call a school girl, and there are only 27% is a school boy. Table 4 show about the data from the English teacher on situation of implementation inquiry based learning method through teaching English. Based on the result, findings show that interaction between teacher and student was at a good level. We noted that mean 3.91, followed by the curriculum turned into action was a good level, 3.83. The process of teaching methodology was a good level, 3.67. And the last one, teaching material, was at a good level. We noted that 3.44. By this means that the situation of implementation inquiry-based learning method through teaching English at upper secondary school in Cambodia were at a good level. For a better improvement, the school should focus on designing teaching material and find modern way on the process of teaching methodology in order to provide the positive support to IBL. Table 5. So the data from the school principal on situation implementation of inquiry-based learning method through teaching English. According to the result finding, the data from the respondent pointed that English teacher curriculum turned into action was at a good level, mean 4.05. Next, teaching methodology was a good level, 3.67, followed by teaching material use was a good level, 3.49. And the student learning outcome was a good level, 3.54. This means that the situation of the implementation IBL method through teaching English at upper secondary school was a good level, because we noted that the total means 3.69. Table 6 show about the data from students on situation of implementation inquiry-based learning method through teaching English. Based on the result finding, the data show that indicator on teacher teaching was a good level, mean 4.12, and student learning activity in the English class was in a good level, 3.72. In the total mean 3.92 also was a good situation. This means that students always participate to inquiry to deal with the problem that was given by teacher. One more thing, they take part into work in group interest of learning and teaching English. In short, the situation of implementation of inquiry-based learning methods through teaching English got a good level. Table 7 show about the data from school principal, English teachers, and students on situation of implementation inquiry-based learning methods through teaching English. Based on The research question, what are the situation of implementation inquiry-based learning, IBL method, through teaching English at upper secondary school in Kampot Province? Due to the result, data findings show that the total mean the student we noted at 3.92, total by English teacher equals 3.71, and total mean by school principal 3.69. It pointed that the situation of implementation inquiry-based learning methods through teaching English was a good level, because we noted that the total mean 3.77. This means that the situation of IBL implementing method through teaching English did not make the serious error in English teaching and learning in Kampot Province. The final slide is the conclusion. The researcher conduct the conclusion 3 main points. The first one, we noted that the total mean is 3.77. This represents that the implementation of IBL was a good level in Kampot Province in 2019 and 2020 academic years. Second, to enhance student outcome on English major, require teacher to pay attention to on teaching methodology and teaching material using, because student outcome depend on teaching methodology to transfer knowledge and student participation. And three, there are some methodology could not conduct in the actual of teaching per se in classroom, you know, due to or because of COVID-19 epidemic and social distance were applied the whole province. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, teacher, for sharing a good topic for our audience. Okay, now without further delay, we would like to jump to our Q&A section, and would like to read a question for you. Okay, let's go to the first question from Chin Yu, maybe. The question is, what should government and individual teachers do in order to reduce the gap between teacher resources and rural and urban areas in our country?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, sure. So the question is...
Can you repeat the question again?
Yes. So from your perspectives, what should government and individual teachers do in order to reduce the gap between teacher resources and rural and urban areas in our country? It seems that most of the time teachers prefer to move and work in the city. So, okay, from your own perspective, what should the government and the teachers do for this case? Thank you. Did you get the answer, sir?
It had a bad question for answer, but I tried my best to answer it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for a very difficult question, but I tried. Okay, it is to provide more resource, and one more thing is
it's about urban and rural areas resources.
Because optimize, optimize the resource.
I think maybe the question is just want you to compare between the teachers who teach in the city and in the rural area. What can be the difference between the using resources? Thank you.
Compare the rural area.
Resource.
For example, in a rural area, there may be not enough teaching resources, especially for science classes. So what should the government do in order to make both city and rural schools have the same or a bit not quite different from the using teaching resources? Okay, so if you need more time, it's okay. Let's move to the next question. Okay, so sorry for that. I think the question is a bit too broad and also just a bit go far from your topic. Okay, now let me pick another question from Jumran. The question is, what model of inquiry-based learning in English class do you use, and how IBL helping students in studying English from your research? Thank you.
Actually, the IBL model I use in a 5 state, and I think it is out of the scope.
Okay. So the next question is, how can we use IBL with students? How to control students? Thank you.
I think they have a 5 state to control the student. The first one talk about asking, meaning ask the question, and then we call allow student to investigate, and investigate meaning that to gather the information relevant to the question, and the third one is we call create, meaning that they write down what they have learned and what they have found, and the fourth one is we call discussion, and the last one reflection.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Now, next question is from Sa. He wants to know what is your sampling techniques and why do you use that kind of technique in your research? Thank you.
Thank you, sampling. Thank you for a good question. Because this study is quantitative, and to reach the research objectives as well. You see?
Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now move to the next one from Cung Hiền. So, do you think that are there any challenges of applying IBL in secondary school? Thank you.
Thank you for a question. I think the challenges of using IBL is one, it's a teaching process, and the second one is a material in English teaching. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now we don't have much time. I think the last question from the audience is from Ritika. Could you mind telling briefly one of IBL techniques that the teacher used for English class? Thank you.
I think the question, what the IBL technique that we use in the class?
I want you to respond IBL technique for teaching English. Thank you.
What?
I mean, the activity. Can you give me one example, like when you teach English, and how can you apply the IBL activities?
I think it's make students to investigate about critical thinking, and as a student, allow student to engage what the lesson. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, teacher. Now I think it's time, and thank you so much for spending time and joining with us for this conference. And I would like to say sorry for participants that cannot pick up all your questions. We're sorry about that. Now because of time, and we're gonna have a short break for our conference. We'll come back at 3:10 p.m. Everyone, please go to the box chat. I just dropped the link for register for the certificate. So if all you want to get a certificate of attendance, you may click the link and follow the instructions. So you may get the certificate after our conference for 3 days. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take a photo for our first section of this conference. So please turn on your camera so we can have a picture together. Thank you. Okay. So everyone, please turn on your camera. Okay, so now let's begin, everyone. So I count, we will take the picture for 3 times and I will count 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2 more times. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. The last time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your participation, and see you after a short break. Thank you.